Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. My name is Lynn. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the Highland Park Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting, setting forth the time, date, and location to be submitted for publication to the Home News, Tribune, and Star Ledger, and posted on the board's website at least 48 hours in advance of this meeting. Members of the public who wish to address the board will be given the opportunity to do so before the board adjourns for the evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Hopola. I am the board secretary. This is the annual reorganization meeting of the Board of Education for Highland Park, and at this time, I, as the board secretary, am conducting the meeting until we have the new board president. So the first thing that we would like to do is have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, I would like to announce the final election results for the school board members for the 2023 school board year. Mark Krieger received 2,683 votes. Jennifer Voorhees received 2,811 votes, and Christopher Woodward received 2,691 votes. We are now going to swear in the new and re-elected board members. So, Mr. Woodward, Mr. Krieger, Mrs. Voorhees, if you would take the required oath that I provided to you and recite after me. All together. Everyone ready? I do solemnly affirm. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And to the governments established in the United States and this state.
And to the governments established in the United States and this state.
Under authority of the people.
Under authority of the people.
And I do affirm that I possess the qualifications.
And I do affirm that I possess the qualifications
prescribed by law for the office of a member of the Board of Education.
Prescribed by law for the office of a member of the Board of Education.
And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly.
That I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability.
Perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability.
Welcome back to the board and welcome to the board. Congratulations. The next item on the agenda is the roll call. So I'll call each person's name. We'll respond here, present, on, whatever you like. So, Ms. Castaldo? Here. Ms. Coleman?
Here.
Ms. Gowan? Here. Mr. Krieger?
Here.
Ms. McFadden Nicola? Here. Ms. Prus?
Here.
Mr. Roslevich?
Here.
Ms. Voorhees?
Here.
Mr. Woodward?
Here.
Thank you. The next order of business is the election of a new board president. So I would get my sheet. Oh, and if I can digress slightly, the oaths of office that I presented to you, I gave you 2 copies. If you can sign, both put your name on, write your name and sign both of them. Give them to me. I will sign one of them and give you back one of the copies. Okay. We keep 1 copy for our files. Okay, I would like to call for a nomination for the president of the school board.
I'd like to nominate Marilyn Prus for president. The second?
Second. Ms. McFerrin-Nicola? I'm sorry. One second. Are there any other nominations? Okay. In that case, we will proceed with a vote. Please respond yes or no. Ms. Casaldon? Yes. Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden-Nicola?
Yes.
Ms. Prus?
Yes. I vote myself, yes.
Mr. Roslevich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward?
Yes.
Congratulations and welcome back. I will now turn the microphone over to Ms. Prus, and she will call for the election of the vice president.
Okay, so we move to the election of the site.
Yeah, you're just going to call for the
Um,
and you can continue to close.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I haven't.
Okay.
It's just.
Okay, this is script here, but it's nothing that I started. I'm not going to say read the script. Are there any nominations for vice president? I'll make the nomination and nominate Ms. Allison Zeldon for vice president.
Second.
Second.
Are there other nominations? Okay, we call the roll on that.
Ms. Casaldon? Yes. Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan? Yes. Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden-Nicola?
Yes.
Ms. Prus?
Yes.
Mr. Roslevich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward?
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Allison. Looking forward to working with you. Although it's going to be hard not to have Mark right here on the row.
I think Mark might show a few times.
And thank you to all the newly elected members of the board. Appreciate people wanting to do this. So thanks. Linda, do you want to do this discussion and signing? Or do you do this?
No.
You were not signing.
So I passed out, I believe we also uploaded it to the board drive, so you had a little time in advance to read it, hopefully. Two documents. One is the Code of Ethics for school board members, and the other is the conflicts of interest. There was a third document that is general guidance, Code of Ethics for remote meetings. This was developed by New Jersey school boards during the pandemic because we were holding remote meetings. Since we still are hybrid, these guidelines are still applicable. Did you? Okay. So every year we are required to distribute to board members to remind them of the proper way to conduct themselves in meetings and during their lives as board members. So the conflict of interest basically reminds them that if they or their family member have a business, that they should refrain from participating in any business activities with the school district. And basically that their family members or close relatives should not benefit by them being a board member because they do hold some influence. The Code of Ethics basically guides them as far as how they should conduct themselves in an ethical manner as board members. So there is a form that I passed out, an acknowledgement that you received these documents. I just need you to sign the acknowledgement of receipt and return it to me before the end of the meeting. Would be most helpful. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda. We move on to approval of our annual board meeting calendar. So you received that in the agenda, actually it's attached to the agenda here too, I think. So I move that the Board of Education accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the annual board meeting calendar for the 23 board year as per the attached. Do I have a second?
Second.
We do roll call for this.
Was that
Chelsea.
Ms. Casaldo?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan? Yes. Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden DiNicola?
Yes.
Ms. Prus?
Yes.
Mr. Rizlovich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward?
Yes.
Okay, the same for the district school calendar. Again, it's attached to the agenda. I move that the Board of Education accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the annual, it said board meeting calendar, but it's a school calendar, right?
Is that it? That's good. Yes, it should say district
District
school.
school calendar for the 23-24 school year as per the attached. Do I have a second?
Second, may I ask a question? I know the last couple of years, especially the last year, we've been really good with the calendar and making sure it's been reviewed by all the religious interests. And that's true this year as well. Okay, so no one needs to worry that we are having important things happen on Orthodox Jewish observance.
Yeah, correct. So we had a committee of many different constituents and stakeholders, so staff members. It also went through union representation as well, Keith and his crew. And so we looked at it with a fine-tooth comb through many layers. We actually even put out a survey to staff as well. If you notice, this past year we had Monday of that first week in November, then election day off, then we were Wednesday, and then we were off Thursday, Friday for NJEA convention. We actually put out a survey to staff asking what they would prefer, if they would prefer to be off that day, and what the, I hate to say consequence, but the ramification of that would be in terms of going an additional day at the end of June. The majority of the staff did vote in favor of that. What was interesting was that we asked about, there was a recommendation from staff about having some of the Passover, the high holy days for Passover off.
Right.
So we polled staff as well to decide if they wanted the week of spring break to be Passover week or Easter week with 4-day weekends either or, with the November 8th date off or with not the November 8th date. It was very confusing, but overall, everybody, the majority of staff wanted that November, that Tuesday off. So that's why you see that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off that week. And then there was a very low turnout of staff that wanted any days over Passover off. They wanted the full spring break, so that's what we did to accommodate that. So that was the only thing that we went out for staff input, just to gauge, because there was some interest in having Passover off, the high holy days.
I always wonder about, sort of voting on whether to have a Jewish holiday off. You know what I mean? It's always going to be no. But I do appreciate you getting input. I assume the point of it was to get input,
Yes,
see how
yes.
strongly people felt. And I appreciate you considering the needs of all our community members. We haven't always had a history of doing that, so thank you.
So we had a second?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I think I seconded, maybe?
Yes, and second.
Ms. Casaldo?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden DiNicola?
Yes.
Ms. Prus?
Yes.
Mr. Rizlovich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward?
Yes.
So then we go to appointing delegate and alternate to New Jersey School Boards Association. So I move the Board of Education elect Mark Krieger as delegate and myself as alternate delegate to the New Jersey School Boards Association for the 23 board year. Oh, I can? Okay. So I'll move number 12 and 13, and also move that the Board of Education elect Michelle McFadden Nicola as delegate, and myself as alternate to the Middlesex County School Boards Association for the 23 board year.
Second.
Ms. Casaldo?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden Nicola?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mr. Rizlovich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodruff?
Yes.
Try to do that category, this next set of resolutions. So next are resolutions that are required to be approved each year. They are, we need to read these, Linda? How do we do this? There's a lot of them. I'm going to say A to L, but this feels like we should do something more.
Well, in the comments, I would either read them or summarize.
Okay. I'll read them all and then summarize the rest. So we're resolving the rules, regulations, and policies of the Board of Education that have been adopted in the past, continue for this year. Robert's Rules of Order that we'll use to conduct our meetings. And that we're going to be posting our meetings in the Home News Tribune and Star Ledger. And all the legal ads that we're required to do will also be on meetings and posted on our district's website. And then we're going on to resolving the depository school monies. And so that the general operating account and payroll account, they are the signatures of the treasurer of school monies and board secretary, together with the president of the Board of Ed, and that the payroll account contains only the signature of the treasurer on school monies. And then we're authorizing petty cash accounts for a variety of departments within the district and for each individual school, having their checking account with the TD Bank for petty cash. And we're resolving the checking accounts, the bear signatures as listed below. So these are again petty cash and student funds at Irving, at Bartle, at the middle school, and at the high school. And each of them have 2 or more signers. As well as student fund at the high school, educational services petty cash, food service fund, trust account, and an athletic activities account. Obviously, these are all ones we've had, the council had all along, we just have to approve them again for the following year. We are also resolving and authorizing Linda to be our district purchasing agent to make purchase of goods and services on our behalf. And she's a qualified purchasing agent as well, and there's information here about the bidding process that she's responsible for. And the Board of Education is authorizing our school business administrator to pay obligations throughout the year, with review by the Board of Ed at the next regular meeting. And we, again, this, we're resolving the Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to hire new staff in the absence of the board, with formal approval being taken by the Board of Ed at the next regular public meeting. And we're resolving the Board of Ed authorizes the use of the uniform minimum chart of accounts. So are there questions on any of those we can discuss?
Can we have a motion and a second, and then we can entertain questions?
That's over here. Okay. Yeah. So I move that the Board of Ed approve resolutions A through L.
Second?
A through L. Right.
Questions?
Now, questions on any of that? I'm curious what the uniform minimum charge of accounts is.
That's the accounting structure that we must use. It's also called, we call them GAAP accounts.
Okay.
The account numbers that we have to use. They're in accordance with governmental accounting principles.
Okay.
I have a question, Monique here. I was just curious to know if the petty cash amounts, have they stayed status quo or?
Yes, they're the same as they've been for years.
Any other questions? What's that? Okay. You doing the roll call for
Yeah,
that?
roll call. Okay, Ms. Casalda?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan? Yes. Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden Nicola?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mr. Rizlovich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward?
Yes.
Okay. We'll move on to board appointments. We are going to be Moving the appointment of, I'll read through this list a little bit and then go back and move the actual resolution. So on this list of board appointments is Linda Huffala as our business administrator, with a variety of jobs that she has, and board secretary. Brian Falkowski as treasurer of school monies. We're appointing our affirmative action officers and public agency compliance officer, and that's Brooke Valdezone and Linda. We're appointing Deborah Deitcher, the Director of Student Services, as our 504 compliance coordinator, and Amy Coppola as our district's homeless liaison. Ms. Deitcher also is our district's ABA officer. And Craig Curvin, our athletic coordinator, is the district's Title IX officer. Michael Donald has a lot of jobs here. Integrated pest management, asbestos, right to know, indoor air quality, chemical hygiene. Linda is public employees, occupational safety and health designee. Brooke Valdezone is our gender equity officer. Ms. Deitcher is appointed as ESL program officer. Jason Richardson is our school safety specialist. Tara Young, district anti-bullying coordinator. Oh my goodness.
And it goes on.
And it goes on, okay. So please skim the rest of your list. And I will move that let's see, what's wrong in here? I move the Board of Education accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the following appointments for the 23 board year, and we're looking at A through II.
Second.
Any questions on any of that? Okay.
Ms. Cassandra?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gowan?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden DiNicola?
Yes.
Ms. Bruce?
Yes.
Mr. Roslevich?
Yes.
Ms. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Woodland?
Yes.
Okay, as part of the president's report, we're doing appointments for committees and for liaisons to organizations in the community. So as listed here, for the Committee on Curriculum and Instruction, Allison is chair and Michelle and Mark are on that committee. For Finance and Facilities, Chris will chair and Mark, myself, and Jen Voorhees will be on. There's a change on number 3. Anne graciously agreed to chair personnel. So myself, Allison, and Rob will be on the committee with Anne, but Anne will be chair. For policy, I'll chair, and Chris and Monique are on there with me. Negotiations, Mark is chair, myself, Michelle, and Rob will be the committee there. For equity and excellence, Monique will chair, and Michelle and Jen will be on that committee with her. Before we go on, that is any question? Oh, like you said, any questions or changes on committees? Everything okay? And then for liaisons, Elizabeth Esmo will continue with Drug and Alcohol Alliance. Mark will be the liaison to the Borough Public Information Committee. Allison for Ed Foundation. Jan, I have you on here as Commission for Universal Access. Actually, I was told by the Borough we don't need to have a representative there. So we can talk about this. What's that? Anything else for you? Or you might want to go pass on that.
They just decided,
Oh, you're welcome to join. That's fine.
did they decide they didn't want a representative?
No, I went to Tara Jover to ask, to try to clean up this list and ask what. So she said there was actually a borough requirement that we have a liaison to human relations and board of health, the ones that we have. So that one is not required. So you're welcome to do it, but it's not required. The others there is a requirement by the borough that the board members represented on all the others that are borough related. So, yeah, okay, if you're willing to do it, then that's, yeah.
If you don't mind, I think that'd be a great idea.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And then the Public Library, Michelle Rodriguez, Special Ed Parents Advisory Committee, Allison and myself, liaison to parents and students of color, Monique and Michelle, liaison to human relations, and Chris has Board of Health, Mayor's Wellness, and the Athletic, and Rob is liaison to the Green Team. Do I need to move these appointments or anything, or just informational? Okay. Questions or comments on any of that?
Well, maybe Jen and I can discuss whether we want to switch around the Board of Health or not. If liaisons maybe not meeting that frequently. I think last time I was on it, they weren't actually meeting that frequently. Who's been, Rob, did you do that last year? Disability?
I think my name was on there, but I actually never attended the meeting.
One of the issues with universal access was they were meeting the same night as the board meeting.
Ah, okay.
So,
Anyway, I think maybe we should discuss whether we want to switch.
Switch it up. So why don't you guys discuss it, and then we can always change it up next meeting. It's not, that's nothing formal. The only thing I do want to do is make a point of emailing Terry the names and emails so that she actually has our contact, because she didn't have that in the past.
I think it'd be good for us to at least get any like agenda items or something
Yes.
that if Universal Access does wind up meeting.
Okay.
I mean, that's something that we really need to know about, but if they would meet, all the easier
That happens
for
for some, yeah, that happens for some reason. But I will send it all to Terry as you guys decide to change it. Okay. Do we have any board committee reports? Curriculum instruction? We haven't met since last meeting, right? Right. Finance facilities, nothing. Personnel?
I guess just thanks to all the personnel that were appointed to these thankless jobs. That's it.
They have no choice.
Yeah.
No, I got you. I got you.
Policies had no meeting, equity and excellence. Monique, do you have anything?
Thinking it's the holiday break. I think we're before the break.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's met since our last board meeting.
Yeah, so, right, we have one coming up. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Any old business? Or new business? Quiet group? Then we open public comment. Maybe somebody out there wants to talk to us. The Highland Park Board of Education welcomes public participation and has reserved this time for your comments. Board policies 0164 and 0167 establish and regulate the right of the public to participate in public meetings. So if anybody would like to speak, please raise your hand and let us know. Maybe please use yourself. Give you a minute, but seeing none, then thank you to everybody for agreeing to be on a committee and for agreeing to be an officer and a board member. And we have a lot of work ahead of us. So, but I can move to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very
Good
much.
night, everyone, and Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
New Year.
New Year.